Hello, everyone, and this will be my very first final thoughts. Oh. Okay, I fucked that up. Anyway, this will be my very first final thoughts, and, basically, it's as it sounds. It's basically my final thoughts on a series, movie, video game, whatever have you. And the first one I decided I wanted to do, since it was fresh in my mind, was Star vs. the Forces of Evil. So, how I'm going to talk about this is that basically tell you guys what I thought of the series as a whole and whatnot. Like all the elements of said series. And so to start this off, essentially, I want to explain that before I start everything off, I love this series. Everything about Star vs. the Forces of Evil I enjoyed. I loved the characters, I loved the settings that it was in, I just loved the entire series. The characters, like Star, Marco, and all of them, they were adorable. The story was honestly fun, but basically, like, if I had to sit here and pick my favorite character, it would actually have to be Eclipsa. Let's see, what else is there to really say? So I just loved everything that was about this series. Now, to talk exclusively about the ending, how should I word this? Basically, excuse me. Basically, the series ending was probably the most satisfying that I've seen in a long time, and I honestly can't say that much about most things, because I've seen various other shows. The only show of recent memory that I could say had an ending as satisfying as this one was Gravity Falls, and we'll get to that eventually. We'll get to Gravity Falls eventually for this series. This is just the one that was most recent in my mind, so I wanted to talk about it to get that thought train out of my head, so I could talk about other things. And let's see. The pros of the series were basically I loved the characters, loved the show, loved the story. I forgot to loop this, or did I? Apparently I didn't. I love this. I pretty much just absolutely loved this series, and I loved it from day one. And so yeah, I loved it from day one. I honestly adored the fact that these characters were the way they were. And let's see, cons. Is there anything I have that I could possibly complain about? And that is, there's a few things. Some of the stories that they created felt like some of the side stories that they created felt a little unnecessary. Like they were long, and some of them went on a little too long. And there was also a few characters that I didn't necessarily hate, but I just felt were completely unneeded. If I actually had to pin it down, I would say I would actually have to say that one of the characters, a couple of characters I didn't care for were stuff like, I didn't really care all that much for Jana. Is that how you pronounce her name? Jana? Whatever. I didn't really care all that much for her. Ponyhead was probably the most annoying character in the show. What else is there that I didn't like? A lot of the side characters I didn't really care all that much for. I didn't like or I didn't dislike them. Turn down the voice volume real quick. But yeah, it's like, that's really all I have to honestly complain about the entire series. It's just, you know, again, some of the side plots didn't really go anywhere. In my opinion, they kind of lasted a little longer than they should have.
High above voice with
Some of the characters were a little annoying or unnecessary, or I just didn't really care all that much for. Again, if I had to say, probably my favorite character would have to be Eclipsa. I just enjoy every minute she's on the screen. To talk about probably what I consider essentially the elephant in the room, and that is Starco. Huge advocate for Starco. Love every second of it. I'm only ever disappointed that the series ended as soon as it did. I want to see probably the biggest con I'd actually have to say, continuing from that, is that I wanted more. I wanted to see more adventures with Star and Marco. I wanted to be with I wanted to see what their life was. So I wanted to see what would become of their life after they would become an official couple and were actually allowed to be a couple, and therefore, what the hell? Ow, things going on over there. But yeah, I just wished I could watch more. So I just wish I could watch. Oh. So I just wish I could watch see more of these characters. I just wish the story would have continued. I hear they're coming out with a sequel series. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. And alright, well, that's my final thoughts. I'll probably end up getting better at this stuff as I go down the line. Always a little nervous, but if you agree with some of the stuff I said, or if you have different opinions on the series as a whole, you know, let me know down in the... But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Just let me know what you think. And I will see you later.